If you hear people in the background, it's my friends and my dogs. Today, this video is going to be about an update on my abortion experience. It's been about 5 years since I had my abortion, and I just wanted to do an update. So if I could do it over, would I make the same decision? Yes. And that's simply because over time, I don't feel like my reasoning for doing it hasn't changed. And those reasons were I was not ready at all. The person that I was pregnant by, it just wasn't that good of a situation. Like, we had just stopped speaking when I found out I was pregnant. So, plus, I don't know. I just wasn't ready mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually at all. Like, I wasn't ready for a child in any way, shape, or form. And he already had a child. And he was already in a tough situation. So, it just, I don't know. It just wasn't the ideal situation to bring a kid into. And I know a lot of situations aren't ideal. I just didn't feel like I wanted to bring a child into that situation. It just wasn't. How do I feel about my experience? If I could not have been in that situation at all, if I could have just redid the entire situation over before I got pregnant, I would do that in a heartbeat. The decision I made, I wouldn't change. But putting myself in the predicament to have to make that decision, I would change. And I just feel like, I don't know. Now I don't even know how I feel about it. How do I feel about the entire experience? It was a horrible experience that I had to go through in order to be where I am right now. I had to go through that experience. I don't know where I would be if I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Do I regret it? I do not regret my decision at all. I have my reasoning for getting the abortion is the same. I don't regret it at all. I wouldn't change anything about my decision. So I did speak to him about it a couple months ago because I felt like in the moment I kind of didn't give him much of a decision. I just told him, and I said, I already know what I'm doing, so you don't have to worry about it. And I felt like when I thought about the situation over, I kind of felt like I bulldozed him into the decision. So when I spoke to him about it, I had to ask him if he felt like he had some say in the situation as well, because he was a part of the situation, so he should have some say, some type of say. Even though I ultimately made the decision because it is my body, I felt like he should have some say, and I wanted to know how he felt about it. And he basically just agreed with the conclusion I came to. He wasn't ready for another child, and that was basically his main basis. He wasn't ready for another child. So I did apologize to him for the way that I told him, because I just sent a picture of a pregnancy test, which is, I feel like, I don't know. But he and I still speak to each other. We're still very cool. What went through my mind in the moment? So when I first saw the pregnancy test, at first I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. There's no way I could be pregnant. I'm probably just stressed out because I was in my second semester of school and I did not want to be in Virginia, and I was depressed and all of those type of things, and I wasn't eating. So I'm like, I'm probably just stressed out. My body is just adjusting to this difficult situation. 2 weeks go by, and I'm like, yeah, probably got to get a pregnancy test. And I first saw the lines pop up. And those movies and shows are very dramatic because it does not take 2 minutes for the pregnancy test to show you whether you're pregnant or not. It popped up immediately, and I did not know what to feel. It was mostly disbelief. In the moment, that's what I felt, disbelief. Complete disbelief. I couldn't believe I allowed it to happen. But then after that, it was just sadness. I cried so much. So much. It was so many tears. Then I was just content with my decision after that. I was just very content with what the conclusion I came to. How has this decision affected my life? It's made me very precautious, extremely precautious. So that was 5 years ago, right? Within the last 5 years, I believe I've had sex maybe 4 times. Yeah, I've had sex 4 times within the last 5 years. The last 2 years has been 0 times. So I'm just very paranoid about possibly getting pregnant again. Like, I don't want to be put in that situation ever again. So to completely avoid being put in that situation again, I just haven't had sex. And it's made me focus in on other things, in other aspects of my life that I need to work on, like myself. It made me focus on myself so much. Just bettering myself mentally, just maturing. It's just made me think about, in that moment, that situation specifically made me think about like small things that can alter your life in the long run, that can make your life completely, that can change your life completely with one thing. It just made me think about that one thing that just had a butterfly effect on my entire life. So from then on, I started making decisions based on what did I want in the future rather than instant gratification. So that's one thing that I did get out of that experience, which is why I feel like I needed to go through that experience. My advice for others in similar situations is legit to just do. My advice for other people in similar situations is to do what you feel you need to do. Don't think about any. I mean, think about him in the situation, but I don't know how to describe this. Other than to do what you feel you need to do without anyone else's criticism. If you feel you need an abortion, then do it. If you feel you want to keep your child, then do that. But don't make a decision like that based on someone else's opinion. Thank you for watching my video. I hope this helps someone, or shed some light on a certain area that you needed shedding on, or whatever. This was my experience 5 years later. Hi, Mama. Come here. Come here, Mama. Hi. Say hi. Look. Look. Say hi.